Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Taboo Marketing, a video blog that exposes the whole truth about marketing. My name is Elmira and this is Delia. We're actually sisters, both marketers, and here on a mission to unmask the most common yet unspoken realities that marketers face.
Today we're going to discuss a topic that I've always been interested in and lately have been giving a lot of thought, and that being the difference between introverted and extroverted marketers. I recently had a conversation with a friend who had mentioned that they were naturally introverted but had to learn how to be more extroverted throughout their life because according to them, introverts don't really succeed in life. So I started thinking that phrase really stuck with me. Is being charismatic and social and outgoing, the typical qualities that extroverts have, are they the real keys to success? The interesting thing is, even though we're sisters, we're actually total opposites when it comes to personality types. She thrives in social settings and, gets recharged by being around people. I actually prefer one-on-one engagements and get re-energized by spending time in solitude. But nevertheless, being totally different, we've both been able to achieve substantial heights in our careers, working for great companies, managing teams, and making real impact on revenue growth of those organizations.
So in today's video, we will talk about misconceptions about extroverts and introverts. We'll share some basic understanding of these two types, and we'll give some recommendations on the best suitable marketing roles for each group. Before we get started, we would like to mention that we fully aware and realize that everyone falls somewhere on the spectrum of these two personalities. And if, for example, if I would estimate myself, I'm probably somewhere 65% extroverted. So without further delay, let's get started.
There are usually huge misconceptions that exist when it comes to different personality types. The most common being introverts are shy, they're more intelligent or creative, they always want to work alone, they hate social gatherings, they're not good leaders, and they're usually not good speakers or presenters. On the contrary, extroverts are believed to be always confident, to have lots of friends, to like public speaking, to prefer always be around people, and they're often thought of as not creative and not good listeners. But the truth is, as Elmira had mentioned, we're much more complicated than that as humans. You could be a shy extrovert, like for example Barbara Streisand, who has a huge personality but also a huge stage fright, or for example like Bill Gates, who is a non-shy introvert. He likes to spend time alone but doesn't care what other people think of him at all. And the exact same example actually applies to our personal characteristic. Even though I'm more introverted, I'm actually a little stronger presenter than she is, and even though she's extroverted, she is a good listener and quite creative as well. In reality, the biggest difference between the two personality types is that what actually stimulates the person and what type of environment they like to get re-energized in. Introverts, for example, they get stimulated by their internal world and they actually get re-energized by spending time alone. Extroverts, on the other hand, they get stimulated by the outside world and they actually get re-energized by interacting and socializing with other people. So scientifically speaking, our brains obviously operate very differently, and there are certain roles out there that we're all best suited for, and marketing is not an exception. So today we're going to dive into a few different fields and areas of marketing and see which personality type is best suited for each field.
Strategizing, researching, and planning is an essential part of marketing, and when it comes to which type of personality is best suited for this kind of task, introverts win, hands down. So according to psychologists and neuroscientists, the part of the brain that is responsible for research, planning, and decision-making, problem-solving is actually more notably active in introverts. And that's why the introverts are often more observant, sharp listeners. They're usually good in research, they're well-read and well-prepared.
Sorry, extroverts, you can't argue with science. We're just a little stronger on the strategy side. Marketing without engagement is simply broadcasting, which of course we already know that is no longer enough when you're trying to grab attention or trying to develop relationship with your potential clients, or especially building trust. Engagement is one of the most important tools that marketing has. And again, you really need to engage with others when you're trying to build that relationship and trust. And extroverts, of course, are clear front runners for this field because they really enjoy interacting with other people. As I had mentioned before, they actually get re-energized by socializing with others, whether it's their friends or even people that they don't know.
Yes, we're just little social butterflies. Content creation is a vital part of digital marketing. It establishes your authority, it builds the trust, and it keeps you on top of mind with your prospects. Both introverts and extroverts can be actually pretty good in creating content, although in a very different format. For example, the video content is very suitable usually for extroverts because they are more chatty, more confident and charming, and they're usually ideal candidates for video creation, especially live videos. And that can be a very good advantage nowadays because the video is becoming more popular on social media. The introverts' ability, though, to express themselves and research and plan makes them better in writing. And that usually makes them excellent in blog writing, for example. Again, it's worth mentioning that there are more introspections versus facts. For example, when Delia is a full-out introvert, she can be actually pretty good in videos, as you see.
When it comes to teamwork, which obviously marketing does a lot of, extroverts' natural ability to form quick and easy relationships not only makes teamwork easy for them, but also quite pleasurable. They tend to remember names and faces, they're charismatic and confident in social settings, they communicate easily with a variety of people, they're upbeat, chatty, and able to speak publicly. So while working in teams comes a little easier for extroverts, introverts can also add a ton of value to teamwork. We as a bunch were pretty precise and detail-oriented, which I find can add a lot of effectiveness to group progress, and we can also be quite critical, and therefore we're able to manage potential pitfalls in a project.
So to wrap up our discussion today, it's worth mentioning that the study shows that there is an equal number of introverted and extroverted people in the world, and that usually varies by geographical regions. So whether you are an introverted or extroverted yourself, you just have to understand the difference between these two types, and of course, the most important, to know how to deal with one another. It's been proven that the diversity usually brings the best results. So by having a good mix of introverted and extroverted people on your marketing team probably is the best formula for success. Introversion or extroversion doesn't dictate your behavior. So just because you're an introvert doesn't mean you can't socialize. And just because you're an extrovert doesn't mean that you cannot focus and strategize. It just means that some things come naturally to you and some things you just have to work a little harder. And nature doesn't predict success or failure. And neither extroverts nor introverts are guaranteed to have success in business world or in life. Your success is usually determined by your actions and not who you are as a person.
We hope that you enjoyed today's video, and hopefully we're able to learn something new that will add to your future endeavors. And let us know your thoughts about the topic. What do you think about the different personality types? Do you usually like to have a healthy mix of different personality types on your team, or do you tend to hire personalities that are closer to your personality type? We'd be really curious to know. As always, don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you enjoy our videos and find them insightful. Thanks so much for watching. We hope that you're doing well and staying healthy, and we'll see you in our next episode. Thanks everyone. Bye.
Bye.